Horse for jumping now when you start your competition.
But she is a good horse.
Hope and her mother enjoy some light banter while they have their breakfast at their home in Nairobi. It is the holidays and she's excited that she will be back in training full-time for horse show jumping after the conclusion of the school term. Hope is in class 7 and cherishes her time spent at the stables with her horse, See Music. Ahead of her training session, she has her own routine that involves preparing a special energy drink, which helps in hydration during the 1-hour program, and packing her own equipment while her mother watches keenly. This routine happens during the weekends and at least 3 times a week during the school holidays when she is allowed to train. Hope, unlike her elder brother Ian, who is an accomplished swimmer, had her eyes trained at something totally different in the field of sports.
That Ian was doing swimming, but I did not want to do swimming. I didn't want to do swimming. So I found out, we saw like a club, horse riding club in school, and I went full on for that because horses. I thought, as a girl, horses. It was love for horses. So once we went for horse riding, I started to think, wow, this is fun.
I remember she threw tantrums all the way home because she wanted to stay on that horse for the whole day.
Hope became a regular at the stables and her passion grew with every day she spent with the horses. She was used to the conventional horse racing, where the prized steeds would compete at the racecourse. But she realized the sport had other variations such as show jumping and dressage. The ability to do more with the horse maneuvering through an obstacle course in an enclosed arena struck a chord when she turned 11 years old.
Yeah, it was hardy stud. And I saw, some other riders who are doing jumping, they were doing cantering. So I was like, what's that? And then they came and told me, oh, that's cantering, you can do it, you can learn it.
Hope is fearless, standing next to the animal which dwarfs her in size. In fact, when she moved stables from Karen to New Muthaiga almost 4 years ago, she made it a responsibility to groom See Music personally. The process of grooming, as you can see here, is a very important component to ensure that Hope and See Music are able to foster that bond.
It's like how I share a bond with my dog. We're friends. She's a very sweet horse. In honesty, in everything. She's nice, she's obedient, she's good. And I like her because she knows, though she came from the race course, she's trying, we're both as friends, we're still trying to help each other out.
Show jumping forms part of equestrian, which features at the Olympics and requires a strong connection between the rider and the horse. The riders and their horses are judged by their ability to tackle the obstacles on the course within the arena. It requires consistent training, patience and grit.
So we start with a bit of dressage, meaning we make full circles, half circles, cutting into the corners. And then after that, that's when now my trainer starts to set up jumps and then we train with the jumping.
Hope has been show jumping for less than 2 years and is still learning the ropes.
Okay, as a rider, she has got a very good posture when she's riding. Cantering, she has got the confidence actually.
In 2015, tragedy struck when her horse went berserk and she fell and suffered temporary paralysis.
My friend was riding it and it was slow and she wasn't able to accelerate it. So we were being told overtake the horse. And then my horse didn't like that one. It didn't seem to like it because every time I went, it seemed to kind of react to something. Then I think during the 3rd round, it just snapped and tried to attack that horse. And I was thrown off and I fell on my tailbone.
When you get the call, because I actually did get the call, and sometimes the way things are relayed to you, no, I wasn't there. It was during her horse riding club. So it was relayed that, she's fallen. But when I got to pick her up, she couldn't feel her leg. And you can imagine my drive from there to the hospital. It was one of the most, up till today, actually, for me, I'm still traumatized.
Hope recovered physically, but the trauma took a toll on her confidence and she almost stopped going to the stables completely.
I refused, I went back to the club and I refused for somebody to leave my side while I'm riding. That wasn't normal for me.
Support from her mother and her trainer's guidance has gradually restored her confidence to ride.
Sitting here, as she's riding and she sees me, it really encourages her.
It's interesting how you've mentioned that you've had to make a lot of sacrifices, both in terms of resources and time. But it's fascinating to learn that you're allergic to horses.
You just find ways and means of coping with it. You take your antihistamines, you come, you support. There are days, of course, you don't leave the house because you're red-eyed, but at least you know that, you know what, she knows that you're there and she can count on you. That parental support in a child is actually very important.
In 2018, Hope will be doing her Kenya Certificate of Primary Education. The workload in school will be demanding, but it will not deter her from training with sea music.
Next year, I'm gonna try completely to balance on my books and my horse riding. Since, you know, as a class 8, I'm gonna be staying till 6. Then, I mean, every day.
So she knows I need to get time to study and then get time to do my sport. That is a skill that you don't get it. Okay. It's sports makes you do it.
Hope is eager to graduate into the competitive level soon to test her abilities against established show jumpers. She admits that she still has a long way to go, but she's confident her partnership with sea music will hit the right notes as a show jumper soon. Bernard Ndong for Citizen Sports.